In the middle of the night, around 11, the chief medical director just came to my room and knocked. They called me at the reception. The chief medical director want to see me. He's around. When he came, I said, quickly pack your things. Let's leave this hotel. For what? He said, no, let's leave. Your life is in danger. So he took me out to another hotel. And the following morning, we now learned that hotel was attacked by armed robbers. Almost every room was broken into. Thank you once again, viewers at home and anywhere you are. Thank you for the opportunity to keep sharing my testimony and God's grace upon my life. The last time I talked was my experience in the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing on a project in Yola where there were issues and God gave me the wisdom and the grace to go and solve it as the water engineer. I also want to share one more on that. That is almost the same thing, Federal Medical Center in Nnewi in Anambra State. Yes, there was a time their water supply has a lot of issues, a lot of problems. There wasn't water, they used water tanker. And the medical center is a big one, so it was an issue. They have resolved, sent a lot of professionals to go and work on it, and they couldn't succeed. So my director, as usual, called me to brief me about the problems there. And also informed me that most of the time they use money to make sure that any professionals that go there, they will bribe the person so that the project don't succeed. So he asked me to go. But he has confidence in me. I said there's no problem with that. So I was given a flight ticket to go to Enugu because that was the nearest airport. So I picked my bag and went to the airport. Or landing in Enugu, they came as an entourage, the chief medical director, the directors, and everybody. They were expecting a team or somebody special. When I came, they were holding my name. When I saw engineer, title JS, I went there. So, chief medical director was shocked. This small boy, how can you? And I said, sorry, sir, I am the engineer. I said, I can see from their faces that they were not so happy, or they don't believe I can solve that problem. So they took me to the hotel they reserved for me there so that the following day I'll go and continue my work. At least whenever I go there, I look for a team. They have most of the medical center have their works department, electrician, plumber, and all the other professionals. So mine is to say, do this, do this, do this. So I need this. And they'll go and get the things I need and I will tell them what to do. So that's how. In the middle of the night, around 11, the chief medical director just came to my room and knocked. They called me at the reception. The chief medical director want to see me. He's around. When he came, I said, quickly pack your things. Let's leave this hotel. For what? He said, no, let's leave. Your life is in danger. So he took me out to another hotel. And the following morning, we now learned that hotel was attacked by armed robbers. Almost every room was broken into. So the idea was that they are looking for me to ensure that project doesn't succeed. Maybe to kill me or to do whatever I don't. But that's how God delivered me from that. So we went to the medical, the water facility, the treatment plant, the boreholes there. So from there, I went to observe it, look at the design, look at the process, discover the problem. And by the grace of God, in about a week or two, the problem was solved and there's enough water. The Federal Medical Center in Nnewi, that is under health project. So that's also an incident God saved my life, which I believe I was in that hotel at that particular time. How do I be alive sharing the testimony? Handle a lot of projects I have said across Nigeria. I was in health project, I was in police project, I was education project, a lot of projects, federal housing projects, as I said. And there was a time a special project unit to take over FDG's projects was ongoing, came up. And the deputy director then, he became the director later, Engineer Mohammed Baba Kobi from Kwara State was given the head of the unit to the main goal of the project is to handle MDGs project, which is foreign funded and Nigerian. The Nigerian government use constituency project and zonal intervention money from the state federal house of reps and the senators. So most of their water project, community projects goes into that. So period today, when Goodluck Jonathan won election, in my own department, water and sanitation department, they wanted to compensate a woman that helped the government to win election financially. So they gave her a project in Katsina. It was a dam rehabilitation project to handle. So as to recoup the money she spent on the election. And luckily or unluckily for them, they assigned me to be the engineer in charge of that project. So the moment the project came, it was like 120 something million. She called me, my oga called me and said, this is the woman handling it. I said, no problem. She gave me her address in Abuja. As of 5, I went to her office, I met her. She said, actually, this project is just to compensate her, not that the project will be executed. At that time, she gave me over 10 million naira for me to sign the papers that the job I can. I said, I can't do that. She said, no, that's the essence of the project. It's not that you just want to recover money. I said, no, I can't. The following day, she reported me to my boss. My boss called me and said, that is how they do. I said, I cannot do that, sir. That project must be done. The long shot of it is that, okay, you're an engineer. How much can you do the project? I estimated the project and added 2 million naira profit. I said, that is the profit. You give me this money, we'll do the project. And that's how she now gave me money to do the money I requested for. And I now went to Federal Ministry of Water Resources, get a fellow engineer that I know can be there permanently while I go and supervise. And that's how I did that project successfully. So when that project, MDG's project came, they have assigned 3 other different engineers because the unit is to be headed by an assistant director level 15. And I was on level 10 or 12 around that time. So I wasn't qualified. So they took the project. After 1 year, a lot of years, it's the ICPC project, they sacked the person. After another year, they brought another person, the same thing. So they were fed up on how to do the project. In fact, it was bringing the director. That's why the director came to my own director, water and sanitation. I said, don't you have any other engineer that can do this? He said, there's one that is very good, but I will miss him also. But he's very good, he can handle that project. But he's level 12 that time. You know, say whatever level they should. That's how he took me, started giving me his project, what I have project to do as I was handling it. They wrote a petition to the minister that an assistant director is supposed to head that unit, and Engineer Babu Kobi has given it to a level 12 officer. So a lot of petition came, and the minister one day now called him for a meeting. When he was going, and he knew that was the issue, he asked me to follow him and wait in another office. The debate was very heated on. They don't want me to be there because they want their people to be there because there was a lot of money involved. So at that time, the water project to about 4 billion to 10 billion sometimes water project across the country. So they wanted their person to be there. So Jawab Kovi took me there, and the minute they put the permanent secretary was saying, we have engineer, I don't want to mention names, we have engineer this and that who are on level 15. Why can't he pick one of them? Jawab Kovi said, this boy you are seeing is better than the 2 of them combined together. I am the one in charge of this project. Let me work with this boy. If I succeed, fine. If I don't succeed, you can sack me. I'm fully well that there was a time they gave me money and I refused. And wanted a trusted person that also knows it. And that's how they said, oh yeah, go with it. From there, they gave me an office, full complement of an office with a car, with secretaries, with everything. And all the certificate I signed there will be acting assistant director, grade level 15. That was how I worked with him. For about 6 years, I was working with him, delivering projects across the country. There is no state I did not work on water project. I can say except by assistant. And by the grace of God, I can say 95 as the best I can remember. Almost all the projects were successful. Until I leave that place, They will invite us for querying ICPC, EFCC, wherever we go, we defended that project. If they want to see, they will and see it. And all the projects were in that till I leave that ministry. But even after I left, they will still bring issues. Some people will petition whenever we go and search the record and go and see the project. They are existing and they are functional. I did not default in any of the projects. So that really helped me also. Within that time also, there was a lot of projects that were coming because of that. And there were lots of favors that were coming because of that. But all through, to the best of my ability, I can't remember if I have taken 1 naira illegally in that office till I finished the glory of God. Thank you, viewers, for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard Engineer Joshua Sanga, how his diligence opened doors for him, while other colleagues of his were using the money they got to buy houses, buy cars, and things like that. He was using his money to improve his knowledge. Anywhere he heard there was a course, he went for it, all the way to Spain. You heard him. See, the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 29, seest thou a man who is diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings and not before mean men. A director will tell his permanent secretary, if this young man fails, sack me. Because he was sure that he would deliver, that he would succeed. Now, if you are a Christian, listen to me. God is not a God of indolence. When he mentioned Bezalel by name to build the Ark of the Covenant, Bezalel was a man diligent in craft, buildings, in designing things. That was what qualified him to be named by God. Do you know that David was proficient in using slings? That was the reason God used him to bring down Goliath with one shot. Are you listening to me? When God decided to use Paul of Tarsus, I'm sure you remember that Paul had PhD in law. Paul was a doctor of the law. That was the reason why the gospel crossed borders under his ministry. You too, be diligent in what God gives you to do. You will go far. God will lift you up. Be fervent in business, fervent in your spirit, fervent in business, serving God. That is what will take you high. God is not a God of mediocrity. I'm sure you know that God himself gave the design of the ark to Moses. Moses translated it and gave it to Bezalel, and Bezalel built it exactly as God wanted. The building of the temple in Jerusalem, God gave it to David. David gave it to Solomon and the artificers that were used, and they built it. One of the wonders, one of the 7 wonders of the old world. You must be a diligent person, and God will bless you for it. You have tuned in today, you have seen how God opened doors. Somebody is on level 12, they're giving him the work of somebody on level 15 because of abilities, because of diligence. That will raise you up. Aim to know what you are doing at a very high level, and God will lift you up. Well, thank you for tuning in today. Please do not forget to subscribe to this our channel. You will hear things like this that will change your life, that will change your destiny, that will encourage you to be a better person than you are today. Please share these videos with your friends. These are our videos with your friends, and you'll be helping what God is doing too. Thank you, and God bless you.